Fight on, family. Preston's Paradise here, man, with my main man, Paulie Walnuts. Saturday morning, man. Trojans got a win last night over Northwestern, man. Paulie, what's going on? Good morning, man. How you feeling this morning, bro?
Good morning. I'm feeling great. I got a good night's rest last night. Anytime the Trojans win, obviously it just kind of sets the tone for the day, and I'm just I'm ready. I'm excited about today's show. I was feeling a little under the weather, and I'm ready to bring the heat today, man. We got some great topics to talk about, and I'm fired up. I am fired up today, Preston. We're 7-2.
Yes, sir, man. 72 in November, bro. 9 games into the season, man. It's crazy, bro. Like we talked about. You talked about on your channel, just kind of enjoying the game, bro.
Yeah, getting back to the basics, man.
Yeah, enjoying college football, bro. And like we're 9 games into the season, man. We only have 3 regular season games left, man. It's like, time flies when you're having fun, man. So just sat back, enjoy, the guys' performance last night. To kind of get into it, man. We'll talk some Jaden Ma'ava here, man. How do you feel about his performance last night? And what he was able to put together after obviously, going through a bit of a gauntlet in these last 4 or 5 weeks. Illinois, Michigan, Notre Dame, Nebraska, and then Northwestern last night, man. How do you think he handled that?
And on top of that, dealing with your academic studies, dude, your film room time, all that, everything that just piles up on these young individuals, man. What's up, guys? What's up, Chris? How you doing? Fight on. Anyway, but of course, Jaden, it doesn't surprise me anymore. When I said at the beginning of the season that him being a Heisman candidate, I want to make this very clear to people. Of course, I believed in his talent, but everybody, you got to remember, this is probably one of the weakest Heisman classes. They're practically trying to give this thing away at the flea market right now. That's how many just random players they're trying to bring into the mix and try to make as popular as possible, because this is one of the weakest Heisman classes I've seen probably since Eric Crotch back in the day when that guy won one. But I look at him, and why not Jaden? Why not Jaden? If he comes back and he continues to play at the level he does, but you know what the thing is, you're going to get that. I said it from the very beginning when he first started playing. He's always had that little bit of Brett Favre in him where he's going to throw a pick, but it's how guys like that, some guys can bounce back from it. And Jaden's proven time and time again that he does not. He gets a little down. Lincoln gets on his shoulder now. They're talking. Next thing you know, teammates come around. You see the unity and the brotherhood. And next thing you know, he's back and he's rolling again. And what a way to get back on track. He handed off to King Miller. And the next thing you know, he's over here wheeling and dealing right after that, back to normal again, if not better. And I believe in Jaden. I always feel we have a chance to win with him, Preston. I always feel like we have a chance. No matter what the situation is, I feel like even if he throws a pick 6 or whatever, we're going to get it right back, dude. That's how it is. And granted, of course, we want him to clean it up a little bit. But you know what? When it comes to it, I'm waiting for his signature game. That's the one thing I'm waiting for when it comes to Jaden against that team out there. We already know. I don't want to think ahead, but I'm saying there's opportunities out there for him to have that big name game that where everybody's gonna put Jaden's name on watch, man. So I'm really happy for him. I love him. I love the kid, and to me, he'll go down as one of my favorite Trojans.
No doubt. I tweeted this after the game, man. Jaden Ma'ava, came out, got into it last night, got into that comfort zone. Talked about this game, I'm calling it a mojo game, kind of getting back to our identity as an explosive offense. The wide receivers got into it, had a great game. Both of our top 2 guys. Jaden Ma'ava, more a consistent performance, something that we were seeing from him earlier on in the season. 24 for 33, 299, 3 total touchdowns. Ran over 2 Northwestern Wildcats, getting in the end zone on that touchdown run. I love that. Love to see
tough guys too.
Tough guys, and a forced fumble, bro.
Wow.
I don't even. It's so funny because I know like he throws the pick, right, and I couldn't even really react towards the pick because the play just happened, right? He throws the pick. You see his big D lineman kind of pop up, pick off the ball. He's breaking a tackle. He's headed towards the end zone. Jaden comes out of nowhere, bam, forces a fumble. It goes out of the back of the end zone. That reminded me of the Woody Marks play, last season against Michigan, where he takes the ball from the defensive lineman. We go down and score on that drive. And that was a true Trojan play from Jaden Mava last night. And I put this out, I was like, hey, man, my quarterback, this is his stat line, man. 3 touchdowns, a forced fumble. You're probably never really going to see a stat line like this ever again with the quarterback forcing a fumble. And that was huge in that game last night, man. Gotta give props to that guy. Just unbelievable, man. I think he did a great job. I've been talking about the last few weeks of him, using his athleticism, using his legs to kind of get out of trouble, create plays, and make it a threat, man. You're a threat, throwing. You're a dual threat quarterback at the end of the day. You can throw the ball, you can use your athleticism to get in the end zone, get out of trouble. I think he did a great job of doing that last night, and I'm super proud of the performance that he had against Northwestern, man, because they came out ready to play. I could tell from the get-go. Top of the morning, USCJ in the building. A lot of people in the building, man. Yeah, like
hey, USCJ.
It's hilarious.
Yo, what's up?
Yo,
what's look at Chris is on there. Everybody, man. We got the All-Star team on coming in. My daughter's here now.
Yeah, this is a beautiful cast of characters, man. We got the best in the business in here.
I got to tell you about Jaden though. The stride, the angle that he took. I mean, it's not the most beautiful thing, but you can tell he was running with purpose, Preston. He knew what he was going to do, and this is what he doesn't get enough credit for it. He does not get enough credit for from here up, and he saw from across the field the guy was not holding the ball properly, and he knew what he was going to do, and he came in there with that 6'4" body of his, and man, let me tell you, it was a thing of beauty, and it rolled the right way for us. And that's just just heads up type of play, man. You don't see. I don't think I've ever seen a quarterback make that type of play. I'm trying to think in my mind. I can't remember one quarterback that I've seen do that before.
I don't think I've ever seen a quarterback force a fumble. And all of my years of watching professional college football, high school football, I don't think I've ever seen a quarterback force a fumble, man. That was big time. And then for the folks out there that say USC is soft and blah, 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 and, Lincoln Riley is soft and blah, blah, blah. And we got our quarterback out here. God, I want to curse so badly right now. But getting after it, bro, and forcing fumbles on the goal line, bro. Big defense. And then after the game, he said, he stepped up like a gangster in the post game. He's like, yeah, man, he didn't have no good ball security. So that's why I went in there and I knocked it out. Because I looked at him. He didn't have good ball security. And yeah, he's the truth with that one, bro. I love to see it.
Did you see Jay?
Is tough as nails, man.
Yeah, he's got some
dogs, man.
Did you see Jay up here? He's like, "Don't cuss, Preston."
I know, man. I don't cuss the algorithm, the monetization. Yeah, it's tough, bro. I'm trying to crack. I want to be myself.
Man, I know. I want to say it too because you know what? For some reason, why is it that our coach, our team, is always you're playing? This means everything. This game is everything. If you lose this, you're done. If you lose this, you're done. You know how many other coaches out there have not, Lane Kiffins and people that have been stagnant and just mediocre in the same kind of level every year? No one ever threatens them with their jobs, man. And it's like our guys are always playing with that burden on their shoulder all the time of having to play for their jobs, man. And I want that to start putting that to rest already a little bit, man. Let's ride it out and have fun. And you know what, Preston? We talked about it earlier. This was the first time in a long time where I said, you know what? I'm putting all that negativity outside, and I'm going to enjoy my Saturday watching my beloved Trojans play. And that was the best thing I could ever do for myself because I came back fired up, man. I really did.
Yeah. It's funny though, because we're gonna talk about what USCJ is talking about. We're gonna talk about what you're talking about because it's funny to me that there's a certain segment of people within the fan base, people that be commenting on my post saying, oh, this coach is this coach is that. And then we had some media come out in the last few days. And I don't believe the media that came out. But somebody said, keep an eye on Lincoln Riley at USC. He might be looking to do something. And then those same people that criticize our coach came out and said, oh no, is he gonna leave or not? But we're gonna get into that. But just as far as last night, man, I knew Northwestern was going to be, a tough team, from the get-go, man. You can see off the kickoff, those dudes were fired up. Those dudes were trying to get after it.
Yeah.
That I got to give shouts out to that linebacker, man, 37, U-line.
U-line is solid, man.
That's how you play a linebacker position, man.
Yeah. And shout out to their offensive line. And when people, it's just, you're just saying that because they have traditionally throughout the years, look at Rashawn, look at Slater over in with the Chargers. You got big time talented offensive linemen. This is what they do. They put out offensive linemen and they put out decent running backs. That's what Northwestern is right there. And they put out good linebackers. Yeah. And so man, you know what? For us to handle that offensive line for the first time, I told you yesterday, Abasari said it best. We took one on the chin, man. We were kind of shocked at first because these were grown men, bro, and they felt it. Normally, we would have probably folded a little bit like we were early in the season, but this shows you the growth. You cannot deny the growth of this team, folks. You cannot deny it anymore. It was right in front of your eyes yesterday, watching these kids get punched in the face a little bit in the first half and say, you know what, we're not going to take that. We're coming back. Next thing you know, I saw a bunch of these good dudes in white jerseys on their backs like that. There was a lot of big teddy bears rolling around in that dirt yesterday, man.
Yo, one thing credit to them for doing, that 3-level defense, having guys at all levels because they knew they were going to have issues with our skill and with our speed. Bro, what was stressing me out is the way that they were tackling, bro. They were constantly grabbing at our guys' lower bodies and hanging on. I think one of Jacoby's last catches, when he caught it and the guy was holding on to his leg, and then they had guys coming in to hit him off the top. Bro, I was scared. I thought one of our guys was gonna get hurt, man.
Makai too, when they were tackling that way, I was worried about his ankles a lot, man. Yeah. I thought that's the last thing we need. And then when Jacoby's hopping around, that one really had me worried.
That's what I'm saying, bro. I feel like they had a bunch of tackles like that. And I was like, why do these guys keep tackling our dudes like that? It was stressing me out, but thank God we got out of that. Thank God Cam Crawford got out of that too, man. My heart dropped for a second. He had picked up the ball. Yeah, he had picked up. He thought it was a fumble. He picked up and he got tackled. But he was able to, walk out and he was fine. He was completely fine. So that's good. Running backs. We'll get to the running backs here. King Miller, he goes 127 on the ground, 15 carries, touchdown, 8.5 yards per carry. The running game was not looking good early. We were kind of struggling early, but they got it going. He got going north and south. And King Miller continues to earn it. And you know what I'm talking about. Scholarship is definitely down the pipe for this kid. Continues to be consistent, continues, to do his job, man, make plays, score touchdowns, and do a great job as a starting running back on this team, being the third back overall. B-Jack got in there for a little bit. Hey, man, he's a flea flicker king. Got in there, did his little, threw it back.
I like that, man. He does that a lot. Yeah, LaShawn McCoy style.
Exactly. And your boy Dalton got it. Your boy Harry Dalton got in there. 6.3 yards.
Look at his body, Preston. Look at that body for a freshman. That guy's a pretty impressive individual, dude. When you look at him, I'm excited, man. I don't want any of these guys to leave. None of them. Yeah,
he's grown for sure. He goes 6.3 per carry, 19 yards on 3 carries. He looked real good, man. I like what I saw from Harry Dalton. And then Wormley got in there a little bit.
Wormley got in a little bit.
Yeah, so we saw all the backs get in there, man. And I'm happy with the performance they got going there. And then the wideouts, man. The wideouts have struggled immensely over the last couple weeks. Mekhi Lemon goes 11 catches for 161. Touchdown through the air, touchdown on the ground, in that little goal line play. Then Jacoby Lane, 7 catches, 74 yards, and a TD, big physical catch. Tried to grab it with one hand, ends up coming down with it, getting a touchdown. Happy for those guys, man. Get their confidence right. This is going to be a tough end of the season, little stretch here, these next 3 games. But those guys performed, just like we know they can in that regard. So the offense is looking pretty good, man. Any thoughts on wide receivers, running backs?
Yeah, offense and all that. I called Jay's show last night, and one thing about me is I ever since a kid I put a lot of work into this, man, reading and the 78 Trojans. It's kind of reminds me of what pops in my head. It keeps popping in my head over and over because of what John Robinson had to go through. That team was. It reminds me of the team now. I'm not saying we're going to win the national championship or anything. I'm saying the amount of talent. It was just young kids. Hobie, you had Ronnie Lott on that team, Marcus Allen. There was just Hobie Brenner. There was all these like young talented kids on this team, and back then it was you didn't play young kids. You kind of had made them wait, but he was forced to play them, and what it did is it gave the Trojans that ability to get these guys that game time experience that they needed, and it just blew up from there. And we all know the history. Anthony Munoz was on that team. You had all these guys that had that game time experience playing from a young age. And I think it's the best thing that's going to happen for this Trojan program is you're going to see these young kids that are playing, the Braden Conleys and the Sellis and all these guys that have been playing and getting this playing time. It's going to benefit us in the long run. King Miller, all of them. Okay, just take note of that, guys. These things are happening for a reason. There's a growth behind this, and this is what we have in front of us. This is our team, and you are literally watching these kids grow as we. Honestly, I think it's the first time. We went through a whole game where I don't think our defensive backs were being criticized at all. Granted, they don't throw a whole lot, but still, they played sound. There was really not a whole lot of penalties, nothing stupid out of the ordinary. They just played solid football, and I was really proud of that team. And when it comes to offense, when Lane is right, Makai's right. That's how it goes in the NFL. You look at NFL tandems, you look at college tandems. When Marvin Harrison was clicking, Reggie Wayne was doing well. It just happens. And so now that Jacoby's really taking it up to that next level, I think you're going to see them really erupt in the next few games.
Yeah. Secondary wise, I think those guys had a good job. I was it wasn't a perfect game for the secondary. Of course not. Yeah. I love the fight, the intensity, the way that Braylon Conley was fighting.
Oh, Braylon Conley, yeah.
He's a young DB, got a lot of talent, made some plays, struggled at times, but he's a young guy. I have a lot of faith in him. He's going to continue to get better, just like Sellis, man. He's on an upward trajectory, and he was in good position on a lot of those penalties. I think one of them was I think the last one was actually on the offensive pass interference that didn't get called. But proud of the guy. He was fighting, making tackles and doing his thing last night. He was actually number 2 and leading tacklers last night. When you look at the leading tacklers, you got Kamari Ramsey up here, Braylon Conley, Jade, Marcellus, and Bishop Fitzgerald. Those are our top 5 tacklers.
I thought Desmond played good too.
Yeah, Desmond played good. Obviously, I'm gonna keep it real. It's not very good when you got 4 of your 5 leading tacklers or guys in the secondary. We obviously struggled at times.
Yeah, of course.
Run, improved on it as the game went on. Jade and Jakeem get a sack on the night. So shouts out to those boys. Happy
big horses up front, man.
Jade be fired up, man, when he gets so sacked.
Did you see them both, man?
Those are hard to come by. That's the best feeling in the world, man. Sacking the quarterback. That's the only reason I love to play football. I really hated everything else about it. Sacking the quarterback is the number one thing. Jakeem gets after it, man. Those guys are fired up, and struggled at times, but at the end of the day, man, when Lincoln made these changes, brought in Danton Lynn. Switched around this entire defense, talked about in press conference that, hey, we are going to play defense at USC. We are going to change the identity of this team. It's going to be defense first. We're holding teams to 17 points, man. We're holding teams to 18 points per game at home. And we give up 17 points last night, man. I can't complain with that, man. No. And they were able to get stops. And we've been able to get stops all year long, whether it's at Notre Dame or it's at Illinois. This defense has been able to. Illinois was rough. That was probably like the least amount of stops we were able to get. But at times, man, it might not be the prettiest thing. It might not be, the most consistent thing. But this defense is able to get stops when they can. And we got a high-powered offense, man. Yeah. So we can continue to score points, be consistent on that side of the ball, get stops when we need to. The sky's the limit for this team, man. So I'm proud of the way we continue to fight. And man, 7-2. Yeah. November 8th. Everything's in front of us, man. Feeling confident about what we got here.
How about Kamari making
Yeah.
Key
Yep.
plays, man,
Mhm.
especially stuffing that run. And you know what? I think people don't realize the reason I'm so excited is this is probably one of the better running games in college football. These guys know how to go downhill, man. And I'm telling you, that kid last night is no joke. He will be playing on Sundays. And I thought we did a great job of containing that in the second half. And it was just a combined effort on every level, man. Everybody was out there flying around. You see them tackling, on some instances, you'd see them all gang tackling people. That's what I like to see right there from our defense. And I thought they did a great job. I'm really proud of them. I'm proud of our tight ends with their blocking that they've been putting out there.
Yeah.
Just, when we're balanced, this thing of ours is tough to stop. I'm telling you right now. When we're balanced and we got things going, they look faster at home. They look like they just are on another level when they're at home. And you know what? And it's not just like that with this team. All teams look good at home. But let me tell you right now, though, I just think right now we're playing with a little chip on our shoulder. These guys aren't stupid. They read and hear everything that's being talked about them and their coaches and how this and that. This guy sucks. This guy's horrible and don't play him. And they hear it all, and I could tell they're playing with a little chip on their shoulder, and I love it. I had a great time watching that game last night, Preston.
Yeah, man, it's fun to see the guys fight on. It's all outside noise, man. Even what we do here is outside noise. I mean, these guys gotta stay focused. What really matters is what happens on the field. Not nobody in the fan, not us doing podcasts. Nobody in the stands. What's happening between those between the lines there, in that 100 yards, man. So love it. So let's do. Oh, actually, I want to bring this up. Because Daniel Garcia in the chat talked about it. John Ray Reed. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what's up with John Ray. And this is what I talked about, kind of the blessing. It's not a blessing when people get hurt, right? But look at the situation, right? John Ray Reed comes into the program in the offseason. I believed him to be the starter. Obviously, Killian O'Connor ends up winning that job. Plays extremely consistent, well at the center position. Goes down in the Illinois game. John Ray steps in. Been playing pretty consistent and been doing an excellent job, in my personal opinion. I think he's been doing a great job. All the communication and the communication between him and Jaden, him and the rest of the offensive line. There hasn't been any botched snaps or things like that. Maybe a few offensive line penalties all across the board, but those guys played pretty consistently. Then he goes down last night. Killian O'Connor gets back in, his first game back, looked good. And even if he is hurt, we got Killian going in. If he's not hurt, I don't know what they're going to do there because, you got that chemistry with the guys. It's going to be interesting to see where they go with that. But how do you feel about the center position and him kind of going down last night? I haven't seen him.
Yeah, of course. You always worry about depth, especially towards the end here. And especially, who's to say, we end up going on a run. You'd want to make sure you have your two guys there that are in case of injury. You want to be able to plug the other one in, and the general's been playing really great. Of course, so a couple high snaps last night. We really, really want to nitpick every single thing.
Yeah,
a couple high snaps. But the point is that guy's been playing great in the running game. He's been really, really working great with that offensive line. And I thought for being a newcomer to the team, I love the way he just stepped in and kind of just like gelled with all of his teammates. And I was a little bummed out to see him go out like that. Now the next one up is maybe Micah Banuelos. I don't know who has that center experience. I know there's a couple guys on the team that have played before, but I don't know if they go with the guy that has more seasonal experience playing this year, or they're going to plug in a new guy just in case something does happen to Killian. So I'm a little worried about that, man. But the thing is too is it affects Jaden as well. You can tell Jaden a little bit to get adjusted to genre. And you know what? They finally looked like they were clicking on all cylinders yesterday.
Yeah. Hey, man, if you guys are watching the stream on YouTube, be able to like the stream. And regardless if you're watching on Polly's channel, if you're watching on my channel, man, like the stream, like the show, so it can get out to more people. People can see what we're doing here this morning. Let's do lunch pails, man. Let's do lunch pails. Got the lunch pail. Guys got after it last night. My lunch pails, man. I got Jaden Mahava. Coming back into his own right. Had a great game. I got Lennon, Jacoby Lane, Makai Lemon, and I got Lincoln Riley, man. I got Lincoln Riley, man, because of the play callers you know, him being able to make those play calls, figure it out, got that fake punt. Man, dude is just, you know, he's
dialed it up, man.
Good,
Yeah.
He's just a scientist when it comes to the game, bro. And I gotta give it to bro right now. And
Yes.
I'm not gonna give flowers. I'll give flowers in the next few weeks, but a salute and a kudos to our coach Riley, man. Stop calling him Lincoln. Coach Riley. What you got for your
You better believe it, yeah. You know the love I have for that man. You know I do, and because I respect him. He's a good family man. He's a good coach, and he's been called everything from selfish. People told him yesterday that he had that was bush league of what he did by disguising the punter like that. I mean, if Ryan Day would have done that, he would have been hailed as a hero, a genius. But
smart, bro.
You know, obviously, I'm going with Danton Lynn. And there's a reason why, because he's been really he's had a rough year when it comes to us fan base and to everyone. You know, the media talking about how this defense has been horrible. And hold on 1 second.
Some people want to fire the whole staff.
And yeah, they wanted to fire the whole staff. And for him to make the adjustments he made to come out in the second half, to be able to calm these guys down and get them back on track. I just thought it was kudos to him, and then also to our I want to say, you know, it's a toss up between our tight ends and our offensive line, but our tight ends, I'm going to give them some love because of the blocking that these guys provide. They're the most unselfish players on the team. When they're needed and called upon, they'll stick their bodies in the toughest situations and get smacked over the middle. They'll do whatever it takes to help the team win. So I'm going with our tight ends for the lunch pail. And as far as defense goes, let's give it to the kid, Braylon Conley from Florida, folks. This young kid, I believe he's from Florida. Let me tell you, the way he was fighting, the way he made that mistake, and then he came back and made that tackle, which was caused by Desmond running up the middle, if everybody knows that. You know, but him, to see the fire the young kid had and to see that's what I like to see. And you know what? I'm giving him a lunch pail.
Yeah, man. Shouts out. Oh, he's from Texas. Okay.
Yeah, Texas. Well,
I didn't know where he was from.
I'm getting confused with somebody from Florida. Oh, I don't know.
Bo Wright was from Florida. He's not.
Oh, right. Somebody.
He's not from. He's not
even.
I don't know where bro's at. But so okay, yeah, man. That's how we feeling. And like, let's look at this, right? Let's look at these Big 10 standings. You know, this is before we got a lot of games to play today, but here's how we're looking, man. And hey, these things could switch up a bit by tonight, bro. You got that big game at Iowa. We're gonna see how we feel about that.
What up, John Aguilar? Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm with you.
Indiana's got to go into a happy valley where they ain't got nothing to lose over there. Coach is fired. They're just playing, to play football. So you can see when the team has nothing to lose, anything can happen. So you can see what's going on with that. And yeah, man, USC in the mix, man.
In the mix, folks.
lost 7-2 right now. And been a lot of talks about our coach and about various coaches all over the country. There's a mentality. There's a lot of things that people say about. A play caller can't win a national championship. Play callers don't win national championships as head coaches. You got to be a CEO. You got to be able to delegate responsibilities, kind of oversee stuff if you want to be a national championship type coach. And it's interesting, right? Because if you're going to be a CEO, type of coach, some guy that delegates and oversees and doesn't have a specialization, right? You kind of have to strike on an offensive coordinator and on a defensive coordinator. And usually when those guys, get out of there and get head coaching jobs, things don't look the same. It's kind of like what Clemson is going through right now, right? Mm-hmm. With Venables leaving, he's at Oklahoma. Clemson has been struggling, right? They're not winning national championships. Same thing with what Orgeron had going on. Same thing with what a lot of these coaches have going on. So I like a guy personally that who's going to get the heat. You know who the responsibility is going to fall under. I want that guy to have control in, selecting what he wants to do at any given moment, man. And it's funny because I'm close to a lot of University of Miami people, a lot of University of Miami fans. They got Mario Cristobal. They think he's a terrible game day coach. He's a CEO guy. He delegates to an offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator. He's an offensive line guy overall. But they want a play caller. They want a specialist like a Lane Kiffin, like a Lincoln Riley. And then a lot of people in our fan base want, just an overseer, man, just a general, just a CEO guy that's going to delegate responsibilities on the offensive side, on the defensive side. So in the chat, man, how do you guys feel about this? Do you guys like having like a specialist as a head coach, whether it's, offensive guy like Lincoln Riley or, a defensive guy, or do you guys want kind of a CEO type of coach, a guy that sits back, kind of oversees everything and gives responsibility to a couple of coordinators to kind of take care of business on both sides of the football? How you feel about this, Paulie?
You know what, man? There's a great quote, and it's the greatest leaders don't have all the answers, but they have the resilience to keep asking the right questions. And that's one thing about Lincoln, is that he's evolved as a coach, where they have great lines of communication open with their staff, and it shows on the field. When they go down together. When they win, it's a team win, and that's a true leader right there, man, to me. And I prefer that. I think the Cignetti approach, the Tom Coughlin approach, albeit they're only in college for a few years, but the pros it's a little longer. I think that yelling approach when you're up by 40 and you're still getting cussed out, I think it wears thin on people. It's good for, I don't mind that either. I like it. I'm okay with it, with in certain situations, but it does wear out. And especially in today's game, you have so many factors that are going on it. Just in the span of the past year and a half, football has evolved right before our eyes, guys, into a point where it's just flashed in front of us. You're not talking. These guys are basically they're in negotiations for contracts. They're players signing with certain players based on money. I mean, it just everything is different. So your guy has to be different. And what better guy to have than a cool, calm, demeanored guy like Lincoln Riley, who doesn't just think on a whim, man. He likes to just be strategic about it and think things out and make sure it's the right fit for the university. That's what I'm going with.
Yeah, it's kind of pick your flavor, man. And
yeah, exactly.
It depends what you like. What I personally like is, I'm not one to say, we haven't seen it work in the last 15 years, so like it's never gonna work. Like I don't live my life like that. You feel me?
Yeah.
I think if you anything is possible, right? I wouldn't even be where I am right now in life if anything wasn't possible, right? So I like Lincoln Riley, man. I like having a guy that has a specific high level skill at the head coaching spot. I think people don't really understand when you talk about college football teams, man. You could be on a football team. If you play defensive tackle on a college football team, you're rarely really, dealing with the head coach, man. And a lot of these guys rarely are one-on-one dealing with the head coach. Like, you may talk to dude, you're dealing with your position coach, man. You're dealing with the guy that's in your room. And if you have a head coach that is a specialist, but you're dealing with, your guy, your specific group coach. If those guys are really, getting your ass type of guys, are those guys, really breaking stuff down to you in a particular way, then you could be a very powerful staff overall, and you guys will be all right, man. So, yeah, it's just, I think college football fans, like, whatever you don't have is what you want. I kind of think it's kind of a situation like that. If you're not winning national championships and you're depending on coordinators on the offensive side and the defensive side of the ball, and particularly when those guys take head coaching opportunities and your CEO coach is still there and you're not winning national championships, then you're like, oh man, maybe we need a guy that can score points, or maybe we need a defensive guy. But if you have one of those guys and you guys aren't winning championships as well, you're like, oh, maybe we need to hire an OC that can, be more explosive, or a DC that, has a specific scheme. So I think it's just kind of one of those scenarios that's taking place.
Yeah, some people are okay with that patchwork type of thing where they'll keep the same guy and then they'll patch in this guy and patch in that guy. Nebraska just did it with the offensive coordinator, so we've actually had to make some changes as well, but it just, to me, it's as long as you make the right cultural culture type of change that's going to benefit the university. It has to be. I remember growing up watching certain coaches where it was kind of just like that back in the older days, where the offensive coordinators and the head coaches, or the defensive coordinators and the head coaches, didn't even like each other half the time, man. They were like enemies. I mean, Buddy Ryan threw a punch at Mike Ditka before, man. It's just like, and look what happened in Houston during the Warren Moon days, man, when Houston probably had one of the best football teams in football, and they're over there punching each other, man, beating each other up, dude. It's like, it just depends on what you're looking for. I like the approach we're taking. I really do, and I'm saying that I don't know, maybe it's I'm getting older. I just want consistency.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, so last few days ago, they're on this podcast. These guys talked about the possibility of Lincoln Riley maybe ending up somewhere else, and Lincoln Riley put us out this statement, man. He and I truly believe that Lincoln Riley is in for the long haul. I truly believe. I don't think he's going anywhere, man. Dude is sacrificed everything at USC right now, man. He's taking his time. He's fired his homies. I really think that he is a competitor, man, and is really trying to turn this thing around, man. And he's doing it in real time. You see the improvements based off of last season, based off the season before that. We're winning games on the road. We're playing physical football. The offensive line play is improving. We're running the ball. The running game is improving. You see the immense improvement that Jaden Maiava has made at the quarterback spot. We see these players that were a part of his first recruiting class at USC, being up for all these awards, but Litnikoff and their trajectory going up. Shouts out to Dennis Simmons as well.
Wow.
His guys around him developing these players and these recruits. So I mean, the fruits of his labors are really starting to show. I think he's finally tapping into, the greatest parts of being the head football coach at USC, man. We're finally tapping into this fruitful recruiting base and in the community, right? And getting the fans involved and getting the fan base excited, and seeing fans in the stands and fans at games early, and winning football games in the day, winning football games in November, winning meaningful football games in the Big 10 conference, right? That acclimation process has begun to happen, and we're seeing the improvements on that front, man. And like I think we're almost there. It's like you that meme of the guy trying to get to the gold, and he's right there. He's right there. Just a few more hits against that brick wall, and we got the gold, man. We're knocking on the door. And I don't see Lincoln going anywhere. But the funny thing is, like I said earlier in the show, there's a lot of people that are like, "Oh, get this guy out of here, When that little video clip drops, you're like, "Oh no, is he gonna leave?" Well, like, what do you want, man? Do you want the guy to stay, or do you want him to leave? Right? Like, what's going on?
It's the little things, Preston. It's you look at that game against Northwestern a couple of years ago. That stadium's empty, man. Yeah. It's empty, and and for that game to be, I mean, trust me, I looked at. That's the first thing I always look at is I'm scanning the crowd. I'm scanning to see how many people are there, and it's just been a consistent, showing for these fans that have been making me proud, man, and going out there, and man, they're into the game. They're just not sitting there like they used to. I mean, they're getting loud, and it's turning into that. When I took a fan to the Michigan game, one of my friends, it was his first time ever going to a big time collegiate game, and he said it was the greatest experience he's ever had in his life in the world of sports. I mean, he said that thing, it blew his mind. And he's hooked. He's been hooked after that, and so in following USC now, and that's what it's about, man. It's about making those little steps like that to improving, and then the recruiting class. Knock on wood right now, but if the parents believe in it and these kids are believing in it, and that's why they're still around without any kind of dramatic. Oh, this guy's thinking of leaving. This guy's thinking of leaving. These guys are set in stone, pretty much. And ready to become Trojans, man. What does that tell you? It comes from the top.
Yeah, and we're talking about belief, but like with the belief in how special the future could be.
Yeah.
Yes, like obviously we believe it. People in the chat believe it. The parents, the recruits believe it, but it's also like a proof of concept. Like now you can believe it as well, but like look in reality and look at what's happening. Everything I just talked about, like it is happening. It is happening, man. There is improvements. They're there. Yeah. They're 100% there, man.
We're gonna get beat down once in a while. I mean, it's just part of football. Part of growing pains. Last night I was watching these young kids take it on the chin for the first half, and then come around and play like grown men out there, flying all over the place, knocking people over. 31 was pushing someone, man. I love that.
Yeah,
that's and so I want to see this continue. I want to see this thing continue to trend the way it's trending, and then who knows if maybe years down the road Riley's still around, he's not around. Whatever the point is, I want this foundation set to whatever the situation is, that we are good to go and set for the next few years, man. Where it's one thing, you lose a recruiting class, you get a next one in. It's just like kind of like, I hate to say it's like some of those SEC teams, man. No matter how many guys they lose, and I mean, you lose 13, 14 players in the NFL draft, they just plug the next one in. And that's where I want to be as a program. I want us to be as a program. I want us to be able to be set like that. And I think Lincoln's on that route. Not just him, but the coaching staff, GM, all of us. It's just a team effort, man.
Yeah, shouts out Dubs TV in the chat. Yeah, I did see. Yeah. I watched the USCJ on Talk to Booby Feast. I actually watched a little bit of that live, and yeah, like Booby Feaster's dad was basically just talking about like, hey man, like allow this dude to cook. Like he's got the good ingredients coming. You know what I'm saying? Like he's got.
I remember Dubs TV. Yeah, he was. Yeah, you're right, man.
Boobies is on the way. Boobies on the way. The good ingredients. These, and we got players. We got a lot of talent on this team. Not hating on the talent we have, man. But that 2026 class is something different, man. Something that we haven't been able to see at USC in a minute. So yeah, those ingredients come in, and it's gonna be scary for the rest of college football, no doubt about it. And we looking at this, right, man? A lot of green on here, man. A lot of green on here. Only 2 losses on the season.
Which I wish we could get those back, to be honest with you.
Oh, that Illinois, bro.
We had chances to win both those games.
Had chances to win both the games. And something we can talk about too is like, I know Tim and them on their show, they were talking about a possibility of USC being 10-2 and not making the playoffs.
Yeah, of course.
And I've seen like a lot of SEC guys. I watch a couple really good football shows on YouTube. Them talk about possible scenarios where you have all 3 10-2 SEC teams, or 3 9-3 SEC teams with all these losses or whatever. I don't even care about that, right? I think if we get to 10 wins, that's beautiful. I think we get in a respected bowl game, get that visibility on the program against a good opponent, and I would be happy with that, man. At the end of the day, like I'm not going to stress over that. These kids shouldn't be stressed over that. Just take it 1 week at a time, and I think it'll be a successful season, man, if we're able to get to that point, which I think is very possible. So I'm not even worried about that at the end of the day. The chips will fall where they may, but at the end of the day, I mean, the improvement is there.
Yep. Yeah, I'm with you, man. The improvement's definitely there. Like I said, we could take some of those games back. Being the way we've grown in the past 2 games right before our eyes. We've grown up, man, and there's no way we're gonna lose. We lose that Illinois game, and that it just kills me, man. I wish we could have those back, but it is what it is.
I know it's tough. It's tough. Yeah. Hey, man. So we gonna talk. Coaches carousel here. These are really like the top 5 jobs right now. You also got that Arkansas job. You got that UCLA job. This is what I'm saying, man. We talk about Virginia Tech, Florida, Penn State, LSU, and Auburn. Now, when it comes to Virginia Tech, man, a lot of people like, and I'm gonna just say it, bro. I understand the black coaches also get the worst job. Like, it's so funny to me. Like, at the end of the day, got all these jobs, bro. James Franklin was a consistent double-digit win coach. I'm not like saying James Franklin is the greatest coach in America, but like I could see James Franklin, being the coach at LSU, bro. I could definitely see that. He's had times in the South, and at his previous stop before Penn State. I think James Franklin. If I'm gonna pick a candidate from the LSU job, bro, I'm going James Franklin there. Auburn, I got the Tulane coach going over there, John Sumrall. I think that Florida job is a toss-up between Lane and maybe like a Jed Fish. Jed Fish could also fall into that UCLA slot, though. I could see that happening as well. Virginia Tech, I think Shane Beamer, man, might follow in his pop's footsteps and end up getting that job. Like, I think that's kind of like a match made in heaven right there. Penn State, like I mentioned this a little bit last week with Georgia Tech and how physical of a team they've been, and the way Brent Key, just his attitude, man. I really like his attitude as a coach. I think he would be great at Penn State. I could see him being a big time candidate there. And yeah, how do you feel about these openings or the type of coaches you can see?
So you look at a coach like Brian Kelly who has already gotten to a point in his career where rumor had it the guy was more interested in, he'd come in, have his practice, and then he'd want to go play golf, and that's kind of where his mentality's at. And to be honest with you, rumor has it the guy's a jerk, man. He's a complete jerk. Burns players out, staff out, all of it. I think he'd be better off in a smaller school now where he can kind of get away with things like that. But yet he's still a good coach. But I could easily see him going to a Virginia Tech. Beamer pretty much has already done everything you can do at a school like South Carolina. You're going to max out at a certain point. You're never going to be competing for any type of national championship. I think the last great player they had was George Rogers, and that was in the 80s. So Clowney, dude. But I mean, come on. But anyway, you look at that, and so I could easily see Kelly taking over an LSU program. Franklin, I could easily see him being in an Auburn situation where the guy, slow and steady. They're kind of that type of thing where there's an urgency to win, and he has the talent to do it. He's a great recruiter, so maybe Auburn would take a chance on him. Where it comes to the tricky one is the Florida gig. Obviously, Kiffin, I think, would do great there, but I think these schools are looking for that next young, dynamic, out of nowhere type of coach where they can come in, like Tulane's coach or someone like that, and really make an impact. There's a kid from, there's a coach from Georgia Tech, Keys, as well, who could possibly make a. But I still have Freeman going to LSU, leaving Notre Dame and going to LSU. Ooh. That's why I honestly think.
Let me ask you a question. You think the Notre Dame job is a better job than you? What job do you think is better, Notre Dame or LSU?
LSU.
You think LSU is a better
job? LSU, because you're not. The Notre Dame gig is you're never going to win a national championship. You're limited. You're limited on as far as finances go. You're only going to make a certain amount. You're going to get some great recruits. You're stuck in the middle of nowhere out there. It's kind of lost its luster as being that, oh my God, it's the greatest place to be kind of place, where it's kind of a dump from my understanding. Where LSU, you get these unlimited resources. They'll put a statue of you, dude, if you win. Win a national championship or even go deep in the playoffs. They're going to hold you in such high regard. And I think Freeman has the intensity and has that makeup to handle it. I think they've already hired one of his relatives or his father there at LSU. So I really see Freeman picking that up there, man, to be honest with you. As far as Penn State goes, I've heard Brian Kelly's name mentioned there as well. But I think that'd be a big state. Penn State's another tough gig, man. It's hard to get people out there in today's college football world where it's this microwave society. People want instant wins. They want to be entertained constantly. And you know what? When you're out in the middle of nowhere like that, dude, where it's boring and kids don't want to go to places like that anymore. They just don't. That's a tough sell, man. Wow. So I don't know about Florida. I'm going with you on those. I know Fish and I bet Kiffin, all those. Yeah, they're all great picks there, but that's a really high pressure job. Great recruiting if you can really do that, but you're always going to be living under urban shadow there until you can produce a winner there.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna say I think this Florida job, to me personally, and I don't know, I like if you want to ask me my favorite college football programs all the time, it's USC, and then I used to love those Florida Gators teams as well.
Yeah, well,
I think this Florida job is the best job on this.
Don't doubt.
I think the Florida job is magnificent. But the thing with me is and I'm gonna ask you this question, and I I don't like projecting people to lose their jobs and stuff like that. But like, there's a few jobs that like there's a few guys that may be out after this season. Depends on how the season goes. But people talk about that Texas job. People talk about the Miami job. I think if the Miami job, I think Miami loses at least another game, bro. They got NC State. They got Syracuse today. They got. I have actually the Miami schedule. They got. I think they're gonna lose another. I think they might have to play Virginia. I think they lose another game. I think Lane wants that. He's talked about that Miami job. Lane has actually talked about wanting that Miami job.
Yeah, they got the money.
Yeah,
they got the money to toss around, but Florida to me, it's one of those programs. It's so rich. I mean, you got an embarrassment of riches, dude, and talent and everything in that state, and you can easily, with the way it is right now, with how Florida State and these schools are kind of on the. I think that's Tony. That's my boy. Right on, Tony. But you know, I'm with you on that Florida gig. It's gonna. I can see Kiffin easily taking that gig, or some other big name coach. It could possibly be even a pro coach that's gonna say, "I've had enough of this, man. I'd rather go take that gig right there." You know, there's been talk of John Gruden. I know John Gruden's name has been mentioned for a lot of these jobs. And there's people willing to take a chance on that. Spider XYW blah blah. Yeah,
exactly right. Yeah, get the call. Yeah, like Gruden and those guys. I don't know. I mean, O came out on like the radio or something. Said, yeah, I'm ready to coach whenever. Like he came out and said he might be down to coach a football team. So
get the leather helmets out. Yeah.
But that Florida job, whoever gets that Florida job, if like that Florida job like goes like a relatable offensive guy, like that is, you know, entertaining and you know and talks and stuff, man, that could be scary, bro.
And you know, Spider XY Banana Jet. Yeah, but you know what they LSU is regarded as the best job in college football. Believe it or not,
I don't see it. Like I love the recruiting. I love the recruiting territory.
Yeah,
but that Florida job is different, bro. Like if you really got the right guy at that Florida job, you can really own the state, bro. Especially because like everybody's floundering right now. Florida State is floundering. Like Miami is floundering. You know, they just paid a guy. Imagine you pay a guy $4 million, man. He's throwing 4 interceptions. You know what I'm saying? Like they're going through it. Like that Florida job could be huge.
And you know what? These were all relevant programs at one point. Virginia Tech was competing for national championships at one point. Back in the day when you could only have one loss. I mean, you had those Beamer teams, man, with a lot of guys going back to Jim Drunkenmiller quarterback, Michael Vick, all these guys that came out of nowhere that played those defenses they had. And so I could see Beamer going back there. Florida, who knows, bro? That one, whoever takes it, it's going to be a big name. I know that. Penn State, I could easily see maybe Kelly going there or Virginia Tech. Freeman is my pick. It's my dark horse for LSU. And Auburn, let's give it to James Franklin, man. He doesn't. Why is he going to take a pay cut? Guy's a good coach, man.
That's what I'm saying. I told you, bro. Like, I'm telling you, a black coach always gets the worst job, bro. I'm telling you. But hey, it is a fact. But yeah, I would love the Freeman thing because that would just ruin Notre Dame. So
exactly.
Get that dude down there. Get Brian Kelly back in Notre Dame. We should just do that. That'd be fantastic, right?
Yeah, they ran him out of town. The guy was golfing too much.
Bring him back, bro. He needs to go back to South Bend. Brian Kelly. So yeah, we gonna see how everything lays out. Who keeps the job? Who loses their job? So
you crack me up.
You're getting
so good. You're getting so good at these like thumbnail things. I love it, man.
Hey, bro, I threw everything together last night, bro. It was a late one for me.
Yeah. All right.
Let's go. So these are numbers.
Oh, look at
these
the
are
record.
numbers right now, bro. I don't know why you made some of those picks.
Well, because
don't self-sabotage, bro.
We kept making. I took one for the team last week because obviously we kept picking the same teams over and over again.
Stop doing that because you know the stakes, bro. You know the stakes.
Yeah, but you know what? Now I'm kind of feeling the pressure of having to wear a LeBron jersey, and so I'm gonna have to turn things around and get back to you know what, dude? Just call me Ace from Casino. Robert De Niro, bro. I'm gonna come in and nail these picks this week, dude. Watch out right now. Forget about it.
I'm telling
you,
bro. You better get right. All right, so got the slate here, man. big one. We're gonna start with this BYU Texas Tech. You already know how I feel, man.
BYU at home, correct?
Nah, it's in
No,
Lubbock.
Texas Tech at home.
Game. They got game day going. People are fired up. They got the tortillas going. Big time. 12 noon. Game's about to start very soon. Texas Tech, BYU. Hey, also, like, I hope, bro, I had to pay $37 for ESPN, bro. This is ridiculous, bro.
That is so
Just so I don't have ABC and ESPN on my television, bro. I hate rich people. But I had to pay $37. I got Texas Tech being BYU, man. Texas Tech just too good defensively, bro. I love what they're doing right now. I got Texas Tech. Who you got?
Okay, so I'm going to go with Kalani Sitake, one of my favorite coaches. And when you want to take a good nap during the day, you watch that or a Utah game. I guarantee you'll be asleep by halftime, dude. But it's boring. But it's efficient, and I'm gonna go with BYU.
Okie doke, going with BYU. Tulane and Memphis. I'll be honest, I'm going Memphis, but I don't know anything about Tulane. I know Tulane beat Northwestern early in the season, but I'm going Memphis in this one just because it's at home. But I don't know too much about these teams, but that's what I'm going with that.
Well, you know what? Tulane has BYU's quarterback that was that left in shame, the program in shame.
Oh yeah, the dude that had sex with
Reisler or Riekler or whatever.
Oh yeah.
He was a Heisman candidate at one point, which who isn't nowadays in this weak Heisman thing. So let me you know what? It's at Memphis, correct?
Yeah, at Memphis.
Yeah, Memphis. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go with I'm going with Memphis on this one at home. Even though I think I just blew it, but I'll stick with Memphis.
Okay, man. Indiana and Penn State at Happy Valley. Woo! I'm going Penn State, man.
God, why?
This is crazy.
Yeah, you took it from. I was ready to do the same thing.
No, just get your wins, man.
Okay.
You're down.
You know why? Let me tell you why. I think Indiana's due for one, man. I just am having a hard time buying in to them being this dominant. You know, I feel that you know the way I saw them play at Iowa, where they are mortal, they are beatable. If you just stick to a certain game plan, and I think Penn State's playing with a lot of pride right now, you know, being embarrassed the way they have been, man. They want to bring some of that back, but you know what? I'm going to go the opposite. I'll stick with Indiana in the close game.
Okay, got you. Yeah, I'm feeling it. I was feeling that. Georgia and Mississippi State, I am rolling with Georgia, bro. They have not let me down really all year, and I'm continuing to stay with Kirby and the boys.
Yeah, they've been a little, off, up and down and stuff like that when it comes to their games and giving up quite a few points here and there. But I'm gonna go ahead and stick with Georgia on that one.
Georgia, okie dokie. A&M, Missouri. I got Missouri, bro.
I was
gonna in Missouri. A&M. I think they take their first L today. I think that's
you look for Missouri's a tough place to play. My friend Joe Scheidler went to school there. He's and there's a kid named Hardy at running back with those big tree trunk legs. So tough to bring down. And let me tell you, he's one of the best running backs in college football. I'm gonna go with Mizzou to win this one.
Okay. Nice. Hey, man, a big one. I'm gonna enjoy this one, man. This is, these are our next two opponents, right? When you talk about Oregon and Iowa.
Yeah.
A lot of people going against Oregon in this one. It's in Connect Stadium. Our hair is supposed to be cold, but I'm sitting back here like, yo, isn't Oregon cold and rainy? Like, I think these are two good football teams. I hope Iowa gets beat up. I hope they get beat and bruised because we got to play them boys next week and we got a lot of rest this week because we played yesterday. But I just think Oregon, man, just the team speed, overall talent. Iowa has been very underwhelming to me this season. They have picked it up a bit, though, the latter part of the season, man. But I got Oregon winning this game on the road, to be honest. I think Oregon takes care of business today in Iowa.
Yeah. There's a difference between Oregon rainy, suicidal cold weather, or and then there's Iowa, which is like people die, dude, if they car breaks down out in the middle of the cold out like that, man.
Okay.
You know, so it's like, even though it's just a lack of them being able to score points, and I think it's going to be a close game, but I'm going to have to go with Oregon by a field goal on this one.
Okay, got you. Auburn, Vandy. I got Vandy, man. I think I know you. I think I know who you going with.
Yeah, you already know who I'm going with.
Even though they both let us down last week.
Yeah, that was
because I bet on Vandy. That's why they lost. It was my fault. I actually finally went with Vandy, and Vandy let me down.
You know what? I think Vandy pulls this out, man. They really do. They just after a loss like that, look for Diego to have a big bounce back game. You know your quarterback is playing at a high level when people are afraid to hire you because they don't know if it's you that's a good coach or if it's a quarterback that's making all of the plays for you and making you look good. So I'm going with Vandy on this one.
Yeah. That coach may be on the move too. You never know. Even though these coaches sit up here and say, "Hey, man, I bleed gold and black. My family, my kids go to school," and then they up and get out of there. But we got FSU and Clemson. I got these boys out of Tallahassee.
Oh God, these are the worst games.
Yeah. This is ugly. This is an ugly game, but I think FSU. Clemson is going through it. I may be wrong on this, but I got the Seminoles beating Clemson.
Yeah, I got the Bakersfield Renegades beating both of these teams, man. Because now I'm gonna go with Florida State. Clemson. Man, how many times have you have to have your heart broken picking these guys during the year?
Yeah,
some of the most. I mean, from top to bottom, you got all this undeveloped NFL talent that is just not being developed properly. And I'm going with Florida State.
Yeah. LSU, Bama. I got Bama. LSU
you got Bama.
LSU has let me down so much, bro. I used to think they had like the talent to just kind of win games, but they have not looked good at all.
Yeah,
quarterback play bad.
Yeah, especially at home. Alabama's a tough, out at home. So I'm going with them. It's just Nussmeier and them. This team's they've taken a lot this year.
Bama's turned it up, man.
Yeah, Bama is really playing at a great level right now.
Yeah. And Navy and Notre Dame. I really hope Notre Dame loses today. Like that. I hope I don't, get this right. I hope this is a bad pick when we get on here next week. I would love to see Notre Dame lose today. Hopefully, bro. Navy, whatever y'all got to do, bro.
Yeah.
Please do pull something out the bag, man.
Navy, I don't care if you got to bring David Robinson out of retirement, dude, and have him play full play.
Whatever you got to do, bro. Please eliminate these fools from the playoffs, bro. Please eliminate them from the playoffs.
Midshipman, let's do it, bro.
Yes, but I got Notre Dame, but I'm rooting for Navy, obviously.
Yeah, obviously, I'll go with the Golden Domers to win this one at home. But obviously, I'm rooting for the midshipmen. I always do. Anytime it's Army or Navy, those schools just they touch my heart, man, to watch those kids play the way they do. You talk about want to watch just pouring your heart on the field. Those two teams right there do it every time.
No doubt. Hey, man, appreciate you guys. That's it for the show today, man.
What a good turnout. Thank you guys for everybody on there. Look at that.
Yeah, man, we had some good love in the chat today, man. Everybody came through here, man. Appreciate you guys so much for being loyal to the show, man. SC gets a victory, so we can relax. We can, kind of go about our day, just kind of hate watch, the rest of the teams across the country, and yeah, man. So if you guys enjoy the show, man, we'll be back here next week. Obviously, you know where to find me. Preston's Paradise on YouTube. Fight on Preston on Twitter. Follow my man Paulie Walnuts at
Calling the Shots podcast with Paulie Walnuts on YouTube. Hit the index button. You can find all my social media platforms, but make sure to hit like and subscribe. Anybody that subscribes, I greatly appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. And my goal is to reach 1,000, and I'm already in the mid 250s already, around there. So it's been it's truly been a blessing, man. So thank you guys for all your support.
Run it up, man. Keep subbing up. My man Paulie, sub up to me. Yo, shouts out, man. 1,600 strong. We're keeping going. Kind of road to 2K, man. Let's get these Trojans. We got to keep winning games, man. And, hey, I hope everybody has an excellent day with their family, relaxing, watching some good college football, man. We're
Hey,
outta
Preston,
here. Sir.
Preston. Before we go,
Yeah.
Tony DRC on there is a diehard Dolphin fan, and
Oh,
that's the only reason why he tuned in is because you're a Dolphin fan, dude. I just want you to know that.
Chris Greer fired, man. Who's next, man? Unfortunately for the Dolphins, this dude Ross, he just turned down $10 billion for the franchise. So he will not be selling the team anytime soon. But hey, at least Greer got fired, man. Let's just continue to lose out, get some good draft picks, and hopefully McDaniel is fired after the NFL draft. It will be good. All right, guys.
He's gonna love that. All right, guys, fight on, man.
All right, bro.